So today we're going to be talking about Unrivaled, and I'm going to be reacting to a post that I saw on Reddit that I do think is kind of interesting. I read the first couple of lines and I'm like, you know what, let me react to this on a video. So that is what we are going to be doing. And yeah, so I do want to apologize for the lighting not being great. My eyes just started really hurting me yesterday, and I just decided, you know what, it's probably going to be for the best to, for a couple of days anyway, just use the light in my room and not use my good lighting. So I do want to apologize for that for the next couple of days, just till my eyes get okay. So just were very, very sore the last few days. So the post is called, "Can we stop lying about Unrivaled?" Unrivaled addressed a problem that shouldn't exist, but one desperately needs solving. If you're one of the best 144 players in the world at what you do, you shouldn't need a second job. And I mean, most of the players in Unrivaled don't need a second job. Like, I would say, if you're asking me for Unrivaled players, let's see, of the 30, how many of these are, I would think, between endorsements and everything, are making over $1 million a year? Stewie, Fee, Arike, Angel's multi-millionaire, Satu, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, Kate Martin, Cam Brink, Sabrina Ionescu, Brittany Griner, Dejanay, Rakia. So I'd say it's about 50-50 that are making $1 million a year. They're making $1 million a year. And for a lot of them, again, a lot of the other players, if you're Jackie Young, just contract alone and Ace's bonus, $350K. 300K for her. Like, most of these players are making 300K, and I think most people don't need a second job if they're making 200K a year. But it'd be nice to make an extra 200K. It's not that they need a second job, it's just they're better off having one, to be honest. But let's take a listen. The fundamental issue in Unrivaled is no clear product, no clear consumer. It marks itself on paying players more than introducing a format that isn't a business strategy and expense. I agree with that. Successful leagues needs to solve a problem or fulfill a demand for its audience. Unrivaled only address the problem for the people receiving the money. I agree with that. I actually stand by that. And that's one of the big problems with Unrivaled. I really want Unrivaled to succeed. And I think that the whole narrative of, yes, I think there's good faith and bad faith criticism of Unrivaled. Like, their bad faith criticism of the league needs Caitlin Clark to succeed. The league is nothing without Caitlin Clark. I think the league shouldn't need Caitlin Clark, and that's the problem, is that it shouldn't. What the league should be able to do is there's enough star power in this league that people should want to watch. But you've got one team, you got one team that's really trying, one team that started trying after 4 games, and one team that started trying about 3 games ago and they missed, and 3 teams that are just there to collect a check. And that's one of the issues, is there are players just there to collect a check. So I don't understand why. Like, as somebody that loves basketball, I love basketball. It's the reason I got into the WNBA. I love basketball. I loved watching the WNBA over the summer. I love watching men's and women's college basketball. I love watching, I don't know about the NBA. Heck, I watch Irish Superleague basketball. I love basketball. And what Unrivaled is that when there's a good game, it's a good game. But when it's a bad game, I just watch it for 2 minutes, see the effort the two teams are playing with, and turn it off. Like, it can be bad. Sports fandom isn't just about watching games, it's an extension of identity. Fans eventually feel a sense of connection, belonging. That connection fuels ticket sales, TV deals, builds tradition, forges rivalries, and stains entire communities. Unrivaled creates none of that. No franchise, no regional ties, no rivalries, just a rotating lineup of players in an unfamiliar format, expecting fans to care without giving them a reason to. Instead of strengthening fan engagement, it offers the same level of player access before, but in a structure that's less compelling. Yet, its entire model hinges on the assumption people watch simply because the talent level is high. That's not how sports work. If talent alone dictated fan engagement, college sports wouldn't have the most devoted followings. People don't love college teams because they believe they're watching the highest level. They love them because of connection. And that's the same thing if you go to a European city. Like, I'm sorry, the fans of Red Star Belgrade, Partizan Belgrade are better than any NBA fans. They're better than any of these fans. Because, that's just how it is. A lot of these teams are local teams. Fans are there for their local teams. Fans watch these games, and that is a big thing. Right now, it's running on investor money, seemingly content with continuing just lighting the cash on fire. At best, it pressures the WNBA to increase salaries in the next CBA. but that makes it a bargaining tool, not a viable league. The real solution isn't just play the players more and hope people watch. It's growing the WNBA so the players don't need a second job. It's strengthening the existing league's financial foundation, not creating unsustainable off-season alternative. And I stand by that. Unrivaled's not lasting more than 3 years the way it is right now. It's not. Unrivaled will not last more than 3 years. Like, that is a fact. Like, there is no way, unless people are willing to burn money indefinitely. This reminds me of something teams or people would have done in the esports bubble, Unrivaled. Pump money in, pay the players a bunch of money, and because there was the people that got in early on esports made a whole bunch of money, there became a bubble, and then everyone lost all their money, and that's kind of what the problem is. And the fact is that this is going to be called hating, and this is a fact. This is a fact about Unrivaled. Unrivaled gives fans further access. Don't recall watching Stewie playing for thing on TNT. W season short. People want to see their favorite players more. People don't. That's the problem. Is that this post has more. This right here has got more. TNT and a bunch of advertised sportsbooks all signed before the first game based on perceived demand. If they don't get good return, they'll be gone. So will Unrivaled. Okay, that's fair enough because like it says here, like people want to watch the W season short. People want to watch their favorite players more, and they want. The ironic thing is that not a lot of people want to watch their favorite players more. They want to watch. People don't realize that the teams matter more than the players most of the time. Like, as an individual, there's only one individual player that people watch in WNBA, and that's Caitlin Clark. But people watch the Liberty. People watch the Aces. People watch the Wings. Sorry, maybe Enrique. Like, when you don't have any sort of team rivalries, when you don't have anything, it just makes it it's glorified pickup ball. And the Lunar Owls, take them out of the equation. If every team was the Lunar Owls, maybe it would be a bit different. But most games you're watching is glorified pickup. The reality is WNBA is a long way from paying players kind of money where they wouldn't want to play in the offseason. Yeah, obviously. Like, by the way, the WNBA season's 3 months long. If the WNBA are paying everybody $5 million a year, and they'd probably still play in the offseason. Y'all are thinking this target audience hardcore W fans who want to keep watching their faves. There's like 100,000 of hardcore W fans. Do people not? Like, how are people this dumb? The target audience is an audience that, like, they're paying as much per year as the previous WNBA. That's the reason why the WNBA lost so much money. And the reason why WNBA is doing so well is that there are so many new fans, is that basketball fans are coming in. Basketball fans are coming into the WNBA. And that is not just saying, like, for certain players. And a lot of people that watched the WNBA season really liked it. Everyone loved the All-Star game. Basketball fans are coming in. The problem is that they are right. This is targeting non-basketball fans. This is not targeting basketball fans. And a basketball league targeting non-basketball fans, they should have made their own reality TV show. Honestly, they should have made, remember the rumored reality TV show? They should have made the reality TV show because that would be a hell of a watch. Isn't this more post for Unrivaled? I'm not sure how people are lying to themselves about a league and its inaugural year anyway. Why are we comparing a year? It's been around 28 years, so the league's been around 1 year. There's a difference between a league that's being subsidized by the NBA and will never go. The WNBA could be losing $100 million a year. The NBA are still going to subsidize the WNBA because the NBA want to control basketball in the world. The NBA want to buy EuroLeague soon. The NBA are willing to make losses as long as they control the world of basketball. Because no matter what, if one or two leagues, if they own a bunch of leagues and other ones are making losses, like you're acting like the G League doesn't make huge losses. But if they can all funnel people into making the NBA a better product and bringing the NBA itself bigger TV deals, they're willing to have multiple loss leaders as long as it propels their main product, which is the NBA. Which is why no matter what, the WNBA is not going to go anywhere. Promise you going outside and getting a breath of fresh air wouldn't hurt. Lighting cash on fire. Most big leagues are financed by TV deals. The problem is that I'm loving Unrivaled. It's been great this entire season. There's storylines happening. No, there isn't. No, there isn't storylines. Like, this post is so negative. Oh my God. 3v3 is an Olympic event. Yeah, you don't get paid to play in the Olympics unless your country pays you. Found Unrivaled as fun. That is the biggest problem with women's basketball, is that this post right here is completely true. And this is very clearly somebody that is like, this is 100 times better, a more like relevant post than somebody saying Unrivaled's great. These players make their money. And when people like complaining, and it's like the people that are complaining about Sabrina Ionescu, and then being told, oh, shut, like, you need to be quiet. Sabrina Ionescu can do what she wants. Like, yeah, but a league paying somebody to not show up for to play 9 games. To play 9 games. Like, they're paying her for 9 games. 100,000 a game. And nobody's watching her games because she's half-assing it. Like, that is an issue. I'm sorry, that's an issue. And the sooner, and that's one of the big problems is that the quote-unquote target audience for Unrivaled is the hardcore WNBA fans who are not basketball fans and ironically aren't watching Unrivaled. Have you guys not seen the ratings? Do you want to know what state has about 50% of the Unrivaled viewers? It's Iowa. It is Iowa. Like, the biggest... The people of Iowa that got really into women's basketball because of that Iowa team are really into Unrivaled. The hardcore WNBA fans do not watch the sport. These are people that care more about the players, that care more about the players, like, as celebrities than they do about them as basketball players, and that is the problem. The target audience don't like basketball. That is a huge problem. And yes, I've liked parts of Unrivaled, I've hated parts of Unrivaled. We can be honest, there are good things, there are bad things. The league is in its first year. And the league is going to have some good and bad points. But if we're going to be out here talking like the league is perfect and they don't need to change anything and that it's misogynistic and too negative to actually talk about some of the awful parts of Unrivaled, that is the big problem with this. Is like, you can't, in the whole WNBA sphere, you cannot talk about something. You actually just can't. Unless your response is, everything is perfect, except fuck you, Caitlin Clark. The only thing you're allowed to be negative about is Caitlin Clark. If you're negative about anything else, and not even negative, this isn't even negative. This is very clearly one being like, this is why Unrivaled is failing. This is why people aren't watching, and they've got to do a better job with this. Like, and still they're getting killed in the comment section below. And objectively false posts being like, oh, I like Unrivaled. And it's like, man, I can guarantee you, there's so many storylines. Maybe you're just, what storylines? Marina Mabry's cooking? Like, I'm sorry, if they're the storylines you want to see, fair enough. Go make it the Unrivaled reality show. Because the Unrivaled reality show would have been something, because something really needs to change with Unrivaled. It is getting less viewers week on week on week. They're coming into the playoffs and they are dropping viewers every single week other than the 1v1 competition final. And yes, there were good parts to Unrivaled. I think that for the players, it's great. For the players, it's absolutely great. But I'm sorry, I'm, as a fan of sports, the only thing I necessarily care about, first of all, that all the players are okay, they're not being mistreated, and like they're getting what their contracts are concerned. That matters, obviously. But as a fan of sport, the most important thing is that the actual on-court product is good. And outside of a couple of Lunar Owls games, and in fairness, the Rose sometimes have played a few good games. Outside of that, it has been complete, like, an utter shite. I'm sorry, we are literally watching a team that I've christened Vacation BC because they don't care. We are watching a team pocket collectively multiple $1 million and they actually just don't care. Like, come on. We got to be honest here. And if you have an inability to be honest, that is why sports won't ever succeed. And that's the thing where it's like, you can talk about the good things, you can talk about the bad things. And being out there and saying, oh, these players suck and all this stuff is like, there's nothing to be gained by that. But if you think that blindly hyping up stuff that does not deserve to be hyped up is a net positive, you're crazy. But anyway, I'll see you guys.